The Middle Ages, a time when people looked at a sharp stick and thought, you know what this needs? More spikes. While modern warfare involves drones, satellites, and the occasional awkwardly timed software update, medieval folks were out here turning farm tools into instruments of destruction with shockingly good results. Let's take a moment to appreciate the top 5 medieval weapons and gadgets that were bizarre, brutal, and effective against all odds. 1. The flail, because who needs control? Picture this. You're a knight, clad in armor, ready for battle. But instead of a sensible sword or axe, you choose a stick with a spiked ball on a chain. The flail was the medieval equivalent of saying, I don't care where this goes, as long as it hurts someone. Surprisingly, it worked. The chain made it unpredictable for both the wielder and the victim, meaning you could bonk someone over the head even if they blocked the initial swing. Downside, you were just as likely to smack yourself in the face. But hey, no pain, no gain, or in this case, no concussion, no conquest. 2. The Trebuchet, the original yeet machine. Before there were cannons, there was the Trebuchet, the medieval answer to the question, how do we throw a giant rock over that wall without getting off our butts? This giant sling on steroids could hurl boulders, dead animals, or even the occasional unlucky prisoner hundreds of feet with terrifying accuracy. The best part? It ran on physics, not gunpowder, meaning you could terrorize your enemies while still technically being eco-friendly. Take that, modern artillery. 3. The Morning Star, when a mace just wasn't spiky enough. The Morning Star was basically a mace's edgy cousin. Instead of just being a heavy club, it was a heavy club covered in spikes. Because why settle for blunt force trauma when you can also have puncture wounds? This weapon was so effective that it stuck around for centuries, proving that sometimes the simplest way to improve something is to make it look like it belongs in a heavy metal album cover. 4. The Crossbow, because training archers was too much work. Bows required years of training, strength, and skill. Crossbows? You just had to point and click, well, pull a trigger. This medieval cheat code allowed even the most uncoordinated peasant to take down a knight in shining armor from a safe distance. The church even tried to ban it at one point because it was too effective. Basically the medieval version of nerfing an overpowered video game weapon. 5. Greek fire. Because regular fire wasn't terrifying enough, imagine being a medieval sailor, minding your own business, when suddenly your ship is engulfed in flames. That can't be put out with water. That was Greek fire, the Byzantines' secret weapon that burned on land, sea, and probably in your nightmares. The recipe was so closely guarded that we still don't know exactly how it was made, but one thing's for sure, it was the closest thing to a medieval flamethrower, and it was absolutely horrifying. The Middle Ages were a time of innovation, if by innovation you mean finding increasingly creative ways to maim people. From the flail's reckless abandon to Greek fire's pyromaniacal madness, these weapons proved that sometimes the weirdest ideas are the ones that work best. So the next time you complain about modern technology, just remember, at least your phone doesn't accidentally hit you in the face with a spiked ball. Probably.